Good evening and welcome to this edition of Sell Your Own Product on Amazon for Income and Lifestyle, with the emphasis on lifestyle like usual, because that's what it's all about. You know, you can sell on Amazon, you can make money, but if you're working 24/7, 7 days a week, you're not spending any time with your family or anything like that, is it really worth it? You can teach you this way. We teach you, and we emphasize the lifestyle. What can I say? And that's what it's all about. That doesn't mean we spend 24 hours a day at the beach and all that. We put in hours to work, but you don't have to put in that many. That's what we're trying to tell you. And that's what the private label lifestyle is all about, because it's the only way selling on Amazon that you can have the time and that to spend with your family. Don't worry about, because when we do product research and that, we're doing product research for 5-6 years down the road. And once we get set it up, it's on an automatic thing. And it doesn't take us, maybe a total of 15-20 minutes to reorder product, get it sent on its way, so that it's already established the route. The people that are going to transport it from China or wherever to Amazon USA know what to do. You just notify them it's coming, where it's going to, and that's all there is, man. And Amazon even tells you when to order the product, reorder the product, their stock. So, I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than that, folks. But like I say, there is the time you spend up front getting the product set up, and so you get it in that is what's the difference. That's the Amazon, that's the private label lifestyle, and that's what we talk about, and that's what we'd like each and every one of you to enjoy, because it's so much better than working. And if you go on any of the other forums, you see pictures where they've got these things where they have spent the morning outsourcing, came back, and they've got this great big huge pile of boxes that are waiting for UPS, or they're going to have to put it in their truck and take it to UPS. Folks, let me tell you something. That is a lot of work. And the thing about it is, if you don't send it in tomorrow and the day after, then you're not going to have any sales. So to me, that's a job. And I'm not putting it down, but I'm telling you, there's a lot easier way to do it, and that's what we're usually talk about. Tonight, we're going to talk about your Amazon selling account, something we usually don't get into because it's kind of taboo. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. But do you want to be a DBA? Do you want to incorporate? What about an LLC? These are all eligible like that, and we're going to talk about this. And just right here from the start, I want to emphasize that I am not a lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice here tonight. I'm discussing topics of legal nature, but the opinions expressed by me are my opinion, and you need to do your due diligence and decide, and need to talk to a lawyer about what you want to see. But I can give you some pros and cons, and we can talk about it, and especially when we get into sales tax, because that is believe me, it is a mess. Our Congress has left it in a total mess. So without much saying, we're going to get into it. But before we do, I need to give you, I need to spend just a few minutes and talk about our sponsor. And our sponsor, of course, is Sell Your Own Product on Amazon for Income and Lifestyle, the course. And that's the one that provides the money for me to do this Thursday night. They are our sponsor. The people taking the course bring the livelihood in here. And so when you see some of those people, tell them thank you, because that's what allows me to do this Thursday night broadcast. And as you know, we tell you about it. And I keep saying I'm going to do that. And gosh darn, I've got to do it this week. I'm sorry, change that, because we've added 10 more videos since we did this, at least, if not more than that. And beside the point, but that's what the course is. It's the videos, but it's not only the videos. The day you join the course, you get my personal phone number, my cell number, and you get my personal email address. I'm available, and I'm usually from 9 to 9 every day. And sometimes you can catch me later on, sometimes you can't. But what can I tell you? I'm there to help you, and we will take you by the hand, show you exactly what you do with the videos. There's 8 modules, and we take you through that. And we're actually, I don't know, we're thinking about doing another 9th module, or just adding to it, because we're starting to get some a lot more promotional things. Because once you get your product into Amazon, once you get your product selling on Amazon, then you need to kind of increase that. You can, and this is all stuff that you can do at the beach. You can do easily. You don't have to do it every day. Once you get it set up, usually it's something that just keeps going and keeps increasing your sales and increasing your sales and increasing your sales. So like I say, that's part of the course, and that you get all those videos, plus you get me and my what can I tell you? I'm there. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you get a question at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, text me, or you can call me, or whatever. If it's something really to do with Amazon and the listing or something like that, all you do is call me, say, Terry, we need to get together on a hangout, and we can do a hangout probably within the next day or so, and I can take you over to Amazon and we can fill a form out together. We can do that. We'll work with you whatever you want, because our success is your success. When you succeed, you tell your friends and relatives, I guess, or your friends about it and everything, and we get more people in the course, and that's what we want. It's not that if we get to the point where we get too many people in the course, then I would cut it off, because I can only handle and take care of so many people, and we've gotten close to that sometimes. But right now we can take some more people. It's that time of year, and so what can I say? I'm not. I don't know what I'm just telling you this because people ask me what the course is about, and it's a lot more than testimonials from some of the course members, and I should add them on there, and I will, because it's exciting to do on this. It's exciting when you get over to China and you start talking to these suppliers, and you get them and you make friends with them, and they become friends, and they help you get the stuff, and you know who to contact. Once you know who to contact to get your stuff brought from China to Amazon FBA, it makes a heck of a difference. And that's what the course is all about, and that's what we teach. And we tell you who to get in contact, and we'll help you get in contact, whatever we need to do to get you going. That's what we do. That's what the course is, and that's the nice thing about it. You don't have to have me hold your hand, or I can hold your hand. It's whatever you want. They watch the videos, and man, they're off and running. And other people, they watch the videos and they're not sure, so they get a hold of me and we do it together. And that's what it's all about. What can I tell you? We have a good time, and so I guess that's enough bragging about the course, because I'm proud of it. And we've got some great Amazon sellers that are graduates of the course of doing bang-up jobs and got products out there. So what can I tell you? I'll say, without that, we're going to go on over here to what we're going to talk about tonight, if I can get it, and your Amazon selling account. That's what we're talking about, because so many people, I get emails, oh man, 1 or 2 almost every week. People don't understand that there's a couple things you need to decide before you fill out that Amazon. And Amazon, they can't help you no more than I can. I can give you information. Amazon doesn't. I can give you information. But like I said, remember, I am not a lawyer. I don't know your personal circumstances, and sometimes that makes a big difference in making these decisions. So if that's you, then my advice is go see a lawyer and get it figured out. There's one place online called LegalZoom, from what I've heard, does a bang-up job. LegalZoom.com. Just go over there and find out. So talk to them. I think the initial consultation, I don't know if it's free or not. I should have looked that up. I think it is, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it's LegalZoom.com. Just go over there, and you'll be able to figure it out and get the information you need if you need it. If you don't, if you understand things and you know where you're coming from, then you're okay. So and while I think about it, I just said LegalZoom, and because I mentioned that, there will be a link underneath at privatelabelselling.com. That's my website. If you look up on the right hand corner in the bar up in front there's view past hangouts. This will be a past hangout in about 45 minutes or something like that. I won't get it listed all that, but I probably won't get it listed tomorrow. But when it lists, I will also, if we talk about anything during the hangout, I will start putting the links underneath there of things we talked about. So you can click on them and you don't have to worry about taking notes and all that. You can just click on the link afterwards. So I will put the link to, what did I just say? LegalZoom.com. I will put that on there, and we're going to talk about some other ones later on tonight, and we will put those down there. So that I can promise, and then I can help you out. But you have to go to the website, privatelabelselling.com, and like I say, up in the right-hand corner of the address bar, you're going to find View Past Hangouts. Everything's there from once we started. They're all listed, and you're welcome to go through the list and read them all. You don't have to leave an email address. You don't have to do anything. There's a place underneath if you want to comment to me, and I'll get back to you, or I'll reply to it when I see it. So what can I tell you? I think it's a good deal, and we try to make that for you so that you like I say, you don't have to be taking a lot of notes, and you don't. And if you miss something, don't worry about it, because it's going to be underneath there. Or if you any of these videos, if there's something you don't understand, for God's sakes, when the video's listed over there, private label selling, that kind, there's a place for a reply and a place to talk to me. Talk to me and tell me what you didn't understand, and I'll do my best to get back to you and try to explain it. So what can I tell you? With that, without being said, let's get into our presentation tonight. Wow. And I didn't realize it was 14 minutes I did already. And well, one thing I didn't tell you, when I came in, I was real calm and cool and everything like that. At 1 minute to 8, I lost the internet connection. So I had to reconnect, had to bring the XSplit broadcaster back online, had to bring everything back online. That's the reason I was a couple of minutes late. And I apologize that. But let's just hope that we don't have any more trouble tonight. If we do, I will try to get back on. I don't know what it's everything's fine. And I said, according to my bars down here, I've got plenty of internet and everything. I honestly don't know what happened. So without that saying, let's get into that. So we're going to talk about your Amazon selling account. Should I incorporate sales tax? What about sales tax? You're supposed to, Amazon says you're supposed to, or not only Amazon, but the government says you're supposed to collect sales tax. And we're going to talk about that. What about, you want to incorporate or just want to be a plain DBA? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So let's get on here. And Amazon sell account, do I incorporate? What about sales tax? That's what we're talking about. And that's what that young lady's all walking around there. She's all concerned. And I hope by the time we're done tonight that she's going to quit walking around there. She's going to have the answers she wants. And if she wants it different, she can go to some of the places we tell her about and get a real thing that would shape up to what she really needs. See, because like I say, I can't tell you exactly what you need. I know what I need, and I can give you ideas about some of this stuff, but if some of the stuff you probably need to talk to a lawyer. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you're talking about a business that's going to last you for years and years. So there's nothing wrong with spending a few $100s with a lawyer and getting things set up exactly the way you want it. Because one of the first things that come on, Amazon wants to know, who am I? When you start to fill out your Amazon seller account, they want to know who you are. Now, when they start, I'm not talking about your name, but I'm talking about your legal entity. Because what happens was the government requires Amazon to keep track of that. And at the end of the year, they're going to have to give you back the right legal papers to go with your particular legal entity. So you get into that. What am I, or what are you, or what you could be a DBA. DBA says doing business as, and with that, you don't have to do anything more than give your social security number. That's your DBA. Or you can go to an ECI number, which you don't really need unless you're coming from a foreign country. You're going to have to get one of those, and that you just go to the government website, fill out the thing, and you get one. So what can I say? But you could be a DBA. We could be a partnership. You hear all these bad things about partnerships. I had a partner one time, and it worked out good. Bill was a good man in that, but we just decided to, well, business was not too good back then, and neither one of us were actually, what can I say, achieving great humongous thing. So we decided to call it quits and all that. He went one way and I went the other way, and he's still my friend. What can I say? And that's good if you put a partnership and you're still friends. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, but you could be a partnership. There's no wrong with that. Well, I could be an LLC, which is a limited liability company. You know, and I'm not going to get into it. A limited liability LLC is between a DBA and a corporation. It's you enjoy the benefits of a DBA, but still you're protected like a corporation. So that's all I'm going to say on that. You've got to determine that. Most people I know, or I shouldn't say most people, a lot of people I know, including myself, you start out as a DBA. My name was Terry Shire. My Amazon account set up, and so be it. That's it. So it means I'm doing business as a Woodford's Cottage, but it's under my name. So I could have been TBA, Terry Shire, doing business as Terry Shire. You know, I could be a lot of different things, but that's just the way I am. So I could be an S corp. You could be an S corp. You know, you could be a regular corporation, and then you could be a multinational conglomerate. You know, what I'm saying is it doesn't make much difference. All the things, because Amazon doesn't care. Amazon, they just want to know what to send us, what kind of papers they need to send you. And Amazon, like I say, Amazon could care less. Uncle Sam is the one who really wants to know, because Amazon is bound to, if you're doing business with them and they're paying you disbursements, they have to provide to Uncle Sam exactly how much money they paid you this year. And that's what it's all about. And some with a DBA or a sole proprietorship, you get one form. With a partnership, you get another form. With an LLC, you get another form, and all that. And Amazon takes care of it for the government. You know, and they send you the right papers, and you file those with your income tax. And that's what it's all about. Like I say, it doesn't make any difference to Amazon whether you're a multinational corporation or a single Terry Shire. It doesn't make a bit of difference. What they want to know is what you are, who you are, what kind of your legal status. So your Amazon seller account. The next thing they want to know is what kind of a bank do you use? Now, I get this question all the time, and so finally on my website, I have got there's a link down there if you get it, but it will be underneath tonight's thing if you want to see, that tells you all the countries and banks or currencies that Amazon supports, and that's all it's all about. Amazon just wants to make sure that through their automatic network that if they owe you $100 this coming Monday, then they want to make sure that he can get you that without a bunch of hassle. And they don't have to have people just calling here and there and all that to find out how to get your money. They want it set up under their system, so they know that when they push the button on every 2 weeks, whatever day it is or whatever, when they push the button, that money gets transferred to your account and there's no hassle. And so that's what it's all about. That's why some of the banks have to be approved. You know, like the U.S. banks are okay. The European banks are okay. Now, I know from fact, and I didn't look at that, I put the new copy of the thing on, and I'll be honest with you, I was in a hurry, and so I just posted on the website, didn't look at it, but I know from past experience over in Australia or something like that a lot of the banks don't work in the system, so Amazon couldn't do. So what happens was, most of the time, one of the EU banks has a branch in Australia, and so you just start an account, a bank account at that the bank account in the European bank that's got a headquarters in Australia. It's all you have to do. If there's one for the United States, you do the same thing. It's real simple. It's not rocket science. Just like talking to one guy the other day. They were in Canada, and my suggestion was TD Ameritrade is a Canadian bank that does a lot of business in the United States. And so, for a matter of fact, I've got an account at TD Ameritrade, which is a Canadian bank. And so I told him to go to TD Ameritrade, the American branch, and open an account. And he did that, and he's fine. So what can I tell you? It's not rocket science, and it's not anything else. It just takes a little bit of common sense. But like I say, this link will be underneath here, and believe me, there's about every country you can think of that's listed there, and if they're good to go with their bank account in those countries. So, and the currency, it also lists the currencies they pay you in on that. So it's well worth a look if you want to. It's like I say, it's over there. It's page 774 in my thing, privatelabelselling.com. But you will find it. The best way to find it, and the easiest way, is to go under this link, watch past hangouts, and tonight's hangout will be listed there, and that link to that page will be listed right underneath the video for tonight. So like I say, as far as that goes, the video is already listed. I can tell you, not the video, the link to this page is already listed there. Some of the other ones. So because if I know about it ahead of time, I'm going to put them there to save me time when I'm putting things down and getting things ready. So it's there. So go on over. So what are we going to talk about? Amazon listings, must know. All right. So we're going to get away from that. Was the things you need to start to fill out your Amazon Seller Central. Not an application, but the thing to fill out, because as long as everything's right, you get approved and you can start selling on Amazon. But those are the two things that you want to know, and that's the two things that always cause the trouble, because Amazon needs to know, what are you going to be? Who am I? Are you a corporation and all that? And then they want to know on the bank, especially if you're coming from some of the other countries. Is it a bank that they can work with you? That's all they want. They just want things to be simple. They're not trying to make things complicated. They just want things simple so that the bank that you're using is one that'll work with their system, and they can send money or take money or whatever they have to do out of there. So that's all they want. So the Amazon listings must know. That's what we're talking about now. Now we're going to get into the Amazon listings must know. Okay. And basically the thing that they need to know, is the product taxable? And they're gonna ask you. It comes down there, right there. Is it taxable? And you click on that, and it gives you all kind of product. But if you don't have a sales tax number, you can't collect taxes. So don't click it if you don't have a sales tax number. I'll tell you that right now. But you get into some products, and it's not all. A lot of them are taxable. And that's kind of the general category. But when you get into like food, in some states, like, in my home state of Florida, food, groceries, cookies, crackers, all that kind of stuff is not taxable because it's the food stuff, and you don't pay sales tax on it. So you list it that way in the Amazon listing. When I was listing cookies, and I told you I did a lot of groceries, that was one of the things I checked on. But excuse me just a minute there. Let's click on here. But there is really a dilemma in sales tax. And this is where, I don't want to say the rubber hits the road, but this is where it's not quite clear, and it's not Amazon's fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's our Congress's fault. They can't get their act together, and so they've left this hanging for about 2 or 3 years now. And hopefully, after we get a new president, this will get solved and it'll get settled, because it's a big bugaboo. So, and let's get into it, and we're talking about the sales tax dilemma. Wait a minute. Okay, the sales tax dilemma. Now let me talk about it. And it says Nexus. Nexus is where you are supposed to, wherever you have Nexus is where you're supposed to collect sales tax. Nexus just means you're responsible in that state or that territory to collect the sales tax. That's what Nexus means. And I'm sure a lawyer could probably tell you exactly what it stands for. I don't know, but it doesn't make any difference. But there's two different options now, and they're really not options. They're what they're what you need to be aware of, because there's two trains of thoughts in here. You should charge sales tax in the state you live in. In other words, as an Amazon seller, my home state is Florida. So I should file for sales tax license in Florida, and any product that I sell in Florida would be taxable. Now, don't worry about all the complicated things, because once you put it in there, you just tell Amazon what state that you have a sales tax license for and collect tax, and they'll do the rest, because it really gets complicated after that, and they'll do the rest and send it in the form. But there's an even easier way, and we'll talk about that later on. And then that's the thing. So, but then there is also another one, and the government is actually have set this up, but they haven't given any rules or things. They say that the Nexus, you should charge sales tax in those states your product lives in. In other words, your Amazon warehouse. If I'm living in Florida, but I have a product listed in Amazon's warehouse in Tennessee, then what they're saying is I should file for in Tennessee, get a sales tax permit, and start filing sales tax in Tennessee. That's what it is. Now, where the problem comes in, the logistical problem I'll put. Say you send products to 3 Amazon warehouses. You know, when you list your product the first time or anytime, whenever you list it, and say you're going to send it in, then in the end you go through the weight and the package and all that, and it comes down at the end and it says send the packages to these 3 Amazon warehouses. Usually it's 3. I've seen sometimes, not very often when it's been 2, but the pallets you can usually get by with sending to 1 warehouse. But doesn't make any difference where you do it, but Amazon tells you where to send these products. So you send those products to 3 Amazon warehouses. Now, automatically, since those products are in Amazon warehouses in, say, well, we already got Tennessee, we've got Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin. They send them to 3 warehouses in those states. So that was 3 other states now that you are, being your products are warehoused in those states, then that means you need to go and you need to file. When I say file, I mean you need to get a sales tax number and a sales tax permit to sell products in that state. And so those 3 states you've got to go, and because you've got Nexus in them, they're in their warehouse, then you're supposed to go and file in those states, get set up to sell and send collect sales tax. And all you have to do as far as Amazon is say, as soon as you get your sales tax permit for Wisconsin, you just tell Amazon that I'm now authorized to collect sales tax in Wisconsin, same with Michigan or whatever, and you claim it on, and Amazon takes care, does all the rest. But what happens now, you've sent your goods to Amazon. So your product is really selling good. It's selling good. Now, remember, Amazon's goal is to be able, we've talked about this before, Amazon's goal is to be able to service everyone in the United States in one day. In other words, that's the reason they're building so many different warehouses. 3 years ago, Florida didn't have a warehouse. Now we've got 2. And by those are all establishing Nexus too when your product gets there. So your product's selling good. So Amazon says, well, gosh, we've got to have his product. If we're going to be able to ship it out and we're going to be able to get it to the customer within one day, we need to get it out, take some of this product and ship it to some of the other warehouses. So say Amazon ships your product to 4 or 5 other warehouses. They're not going to tell you. It doesn't really make any difference to you, except that all of a sudden you find out that you have a product in a warehouse in Utah. Only because maybe you catch a return or something like that, you'd find it, or if you read the fine print, you find out where it's shipped out. It doesn't make any difference. But because they did that, then legally you're establishing Nexus in those other 4 or 5 other states. So that means that you should have to contact those states, Utah and the other ones, and get a sales tax permit from that state, and then you notify Amazon and you start collecting sales tax from anybody that buys your product in that state. And believe me, and what the problem is you can see after a year a time, you could have products in over 40 different Amazon warehouses, and each one causing Nexus. Now, that's a logistical nightmare, but that's the way the government's got it set up, and they're aware of it. So let's go on to the next one. So 40 Nexus warehouses equals 40 states to register and pay sales tax. As you can say, can you imagine? But that's not all of it. So let's go on. Wait, there's more, because it really gets interesting. The local taxing authorities determines the sales tax rate for their area. So let's say that I live down here, and I live in Martin County, Florida. All right. So Martin County sets the tax rate for here. I believe it's 6 3/4%. So they notify the state, say anything that's sold in Martin County, you've got to collect 6 3/4%. So they say, all right, but the county I live next to is St. Lucie County, and St. Lucie County has a sales tax rate of 6.50, 6.5%. So they tell that. Now you can imagine every county in Florida has a different tax rate. A lot of them are run the same. You understand what I'm saying? But they could be, how many counties we got? 100 and some counties. It could be 100 and some different tax rate. If that, but do you follow where the thing's coming in? And all you have to do is you tell Amazon, the state you're in, and Amazon takes care of that. So don't worry about it, except when it comes to the end of the month, and you're supposed to know who to sell who to pay the sales tax, because Amazon pays you the money, and it's up to you to pay this different states. Amazon has nothing to do with the sales tax. It's all up to you. So for the products you sell, it's your responsibility. So Amazon, sends you this report. What are you going to do with it? Which means, there could be 5 or 6 different tax rates for these. And I'm losing myself on a plate here, because all of this, you as the seller are responsible to report to each of the 40 states, who each have their different reporting times and rule. That's part of it too. Like Florida, you can file every quarter. It depends on your sales. You can file it every quarter. You can file it every month. It depends on your sales and that. And a lot of the other states are, and some of them are due on the 1st of this month. Some are due on the 15th of the month. Some are due on the 30th of the month, or whatever. There's a lot of different, but every state has their own rules, the way you want it set in, their own form they want to set in, and everything else. And it is a logistical nightmare. Now, let's see. This is my exciting, isn't it? Yeah, it's really exciting. Now, let me tell you something. And I don't mean to scare you. There is a company out there called TaxJar. And TaxJar does an excellent, I think it costs you, I believe it's $9.95 a month or something like that. I've had them for a couple of years now, 1.5 years anyway, a couple of years, and they do an excellent job. And I'm not here to promote TaxJar or anything else. There might be another company out there that does a job. I don't think so. I'm really impressed by what TaxJar does for that amount of money. They go and they constantly monitor every day. They monitor my Amazon account. I give them permission. I set them up with the API key to my account and everything. And they go in and they take all this information right from Amazon. They have a list. It's listed on my account every day, exactly how many sales I had or every sale is listed regardless of the day. Every sale is listed by there, how much shipping, how much sales tax, how much, and it's all there. And they take it and they turn it over and they tell me, because I've got it set up, say like Florida, which is the 1st of the month, and they say, Terry, you need to send your sales tax in. It's the 1st of the quarter, I'm sorry. And they say you need to send your sales tax in for Florida. So I send it in, and it's no big deal. So what I'm trying to tell you is, even though that's a logistical nightmare, Unless you want to do it yourself, you can. But TaxJar's there, and believe me, if you're going to get right with sales tax and you want to do it and you want to have it right, it's kind of, to me, it's a no-brainer. Because I'll be telling you what's happened to me. Sometimes I've only owed. This is years ago, before I had TaxJar. And sometimes I only owed maybe $7, $8 because Florida. Back then, Florida wasn't that, and I didn't have a lot of products that were selling good in Florida. So sales tax, maybe I only owed $7 or $8 in Florida, and I would go and it completely slipped my mind. And I'll be honest with you once, because I'm the one that doesn't like to do bookkeeping. I hate to do bookkeeping. And I tell you, and it would just slip my mind. I just put it off and say, I'll do it some other day. And then the time backs up. And so when I went to pay it, I'd owe $6, $7 in sales tax, and it cost me a $50 penalty because it wasn't sent in. So that's just me. I'm telling you, I'm not technical minded like that, and I don't mind admitting it. That's not, and that's one of the reasons I paid a couple of those like that. And that's what I said, Terry, you need to join TaxJar for $10 a month, less than $10 a month. You can't go wrong. So I did. So that's what it is. So that's exciting, isn't it? And so that's the end of the sideshow. Let me go back here. Let's go to the beach, and you'll get back here in the beach. I'm really having trouble with my air. Let me see. Let's try the boat. There's the boat. All right, we're coming. We'll come around here. We'll use the boat tonight. I want to go on the beach, but we'll go on the boat. So what can I tell you? We're going to go back here. Yeah, we're back here. And there we are. So I've got it set up. Let's see. We've got the hold on a minute here. There we go. We've got the group chat. I just opened it up over here on the right. If you want to ask some questions, it's to my right. It's probably to your left, I think. I don't know. Anyway, if you'd like to ask some questions, I would be glad to answer any questions. We've got quite a few on here tonight, and I appreciate it, especially at St. Patrick's Day. I hope I had corned beef and cabbage for supper, so I hope you guys got to have some if you like that. I look forward to St. Patrick's. We have it a couple other times a year too, but I especially look forward to corned beef and cabbage. It was my wife did an outstanding job, and what can I tell you? It was very good. And so I'm sitting here just fat and happy and stuffed with corned beef and cabbage, and bringing this thing to you tonight. So I would love to answer any questions you've got on there. Now, I'm going to tell you something. In this, I probably shouldn't say, but I'm going to say it anyway, because there's a couple of different trains of thoughts on this. And like I say, you can file Nexus in your home state, which I would suggest. But I also tell you right now that I think within 3-4 years, Congress gets their act together, sales tax is going to be eliminated, because it's a logistic nightmare. If you're selling on Amazon, who theoretically you could be selling in all 50 states with Amazon, with the way they've got their warehouses, because like I say, they're adding more warehouses because they want to be able to service anybody within one day. And like I say, Amazon wants to be the #1 retailer in the world. And we've talked about that, but bear this, and that's what they want to be in the United States. They want to be able to service anybody within one day. And they're primed just to keeps increasing and increasing. And believe me, if you buy from Amazon and you don't use the Prime program, I think you're just throwing money away, because for what is it, $109 or whatever it is a year, man, you can get it, and everything you order you get within 2 days, dropped off at your doorstep. And so I'm a proponent of Prime. The more people that can get on Prime, the better I like it, because that's just more sales for you and me, because when they come to Amazon, they'll get it. And like we talked before about brands and them being the #1 to say the world, believe me, this is the time to start selling on Amazon. I can't encourage you enough to do it, because this is it. And like I say, join the course. We'll show you how to get set up. We'll get you set up. We'll get you selling on Amazon. We're going to get you enjoying the private label lifestyle. And what can I tell you? It's a shameless plug again, but that's okay. That's what it's all about. And that's to your advantage, not mine. It's to your advantage. Of course, if you join the course, it's to my advantage, because you're going to pay me money to join and to help you out. But that's what we're here for. That's what our business is, and that's what we do. We've been doing this a long time, and we helped a lot of people. And I could point my finger at you and say, I want to help you. Like remember those old Uncle Sam commercials? We want you. Well, I'd like to have you come and join our course, because we're going to have a good time. I'd love to be able to help you, get you going, and get you started, and get some of that money coming in. And what more can I tell you? And so you can enjoy some of the problems like this sales tax things we're talking about. So, okay, to get back to those, most people I know, they register in their own home state for Nexus. And actually the government says, I think the way I read it, and I think the people over at TaxJar will agree with them, because they kind of come out with this thing that wherever your product is warehoused, that's where you actually have Nexus. And so that means that if you have Nexus in 25 states, then you should be filing sales tax in 25 states, contacting the state filing. And as far as the work involved, is really not that great, because TaxJar will take care of it. They'll tell you exactly, you put it in the states you've got to, and they will tell you when your tax is due, when you got to do it. They will send you an email and do it. And if you got 25, they'll send you 25 different emails if they're not on the same day in that. They'll get you set up and do it. So that part is not the hard part. But here's where the problem comes in. You never know, unless you set up in all 50 states, because Amazon can take that product of yours that might be sitting in a warehouse in Wisconsin, and all of a sudden they realize that in Missouri, they don't have any of your product, and they want to be able to take care of the customer. So they're going to take those excess products that you've got in Wisconsin, and they're going to take it to Missouri, and you're not going to know about it. They don't have to notify you, and they're not doing anything wrong or anything else. But all of a sudden, you're in Missouri, and you don't have a Nexus in that state. I mean, you do have a Nexus because your product is there, but you're not collecting sales tax in there. So it's a logistical nightmare, and that's the reason I say I think sales tax is one of those things within the next few years is going to be completely gone, with some kind of a national tax, which I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but I really think the sales tax days are limited, because of the internet and all this selling on the internet, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. More and more physical brick and mortar shopping malls and that are going under. If you take the one in your hometown or something like that, go to it, and you're going to see how many empty stores there are. It's because the internet sales keep going up, 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 and the brick and mortar stores keep going down, down, down. It's the traffic hassle, the threat of terrorism. It's one of the terrorists' favorite things is a shopping mall. And I'm not trying to say this to scare you, believe me, but I'm going to tell you that's one of the reasons for what the trend is going on. The trend is getting away from shopping malls. The trend is getting away from that, and it's going to the more online shopping. Amazon sales were up 15, 20%, and they're not the only one. Shopify is up. And so eBay, they're all up. And so that's the reason I think the government, the Congress, what you want to call it, has got to get this figured out, because right now it's a logistical nightmare. And just writing that, and a lot of the times we're talking about in some of these smaller states and that where you maybe sell a few products a month or something like that. You're talking about a check of $4 or $5 for sales tax in that state. But still, if you don't, like I say, I got a $50 penalty, and I don't know what every state probably does not have the $50 penalty. Some of them might have more, some might have less, but I'm saying it, and you gotta send it in if you have Nexus and if you've established the sales tax. So like I say, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what options are out there. A lot of people that I know established Nexus in their home state, paid the sales tax in that home state, and then they're just kind of sitting there waiting to see what the government's going to do, because they've got to do something. It's to the point of ridiculous now. And but of course, you know, our government is so screwed up in the United States these last 3-4 years. The Democrats and the Republicans, neither one of them will give an inch, and so we've got total quagmire, total stalemate, and everything else. And I just hope this election that we get somebody in there that's going to change things and shake those things up and make things different. And man, I'm going to say it: Hillary Clinton is not the person to do it. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not neutral. No, I'm not. I personally think Donald Trump will do a good job. So anyway, that's what I was saying. We've got, and nobody's asking any questions tonight. So I don't know. It's 8:48. It's about 10 minutes to go. We've got something like that. So if we're not going to, if nobody's going to have any questions or anything like that, I'm going to cut it short tonight, because what can I tell you? I'm going to have a drink of water right now. That's for darn sure. All right. So, like I say, what do we got? It's 8:48. We've got a few viewers, but nobody's asking any questions. And so I can just get up here tonight and keep talking. If you want me to do a little dance, I could probably do that. But you don't want to see me dance, believe me. What can I tell you? For one thing, you don't want to stand up. I stand in my pajama bottoms, and I wear a shirt because that's all you can see. So I might as well be comfortable. Nothing wrong with that, and I'll tell you about it right now. So just don't ask me to stand up right away in that, because I got my plaid jammies on tonight, and what can I say? So, like I say, nobody is asking questions, and I've explained everything as much as I want to. If you don't understand anything, you know, for God's sake, send me an email, and we'll try and get things straightened out, and we'll try to explain everything. So with that being said, if nobody's going to see, I'm going to push the stop broadcast button here, and I'll say I will see you next